The Winter Olympics are taking place, as you might know. And now that all of the worlds, or a bunch of the world's countries, are meeting for this competition, it gives us another example of how much of the world feels about the current state of things in the United States, even from many of our allies or former allies. And so JD Vance is there representing us. And I saw this one photo where he's sitting next to Jake Paul, but instead of it going him, like Jake Paul, him, Usha, so he can sit next to his wife, Jake Paul is sitting in between him and Usha. And it's like, okay, interesting choice. I'm going to talk to Jake for a while, Usha. You're on my nerves. But Vance is kind of right now an emblem, leading the delegation there or whatever for the United States and for Trump and the Trump administration. And you'll notice that the crowds there are booing a lot. Booing Trump, the Trump administration, thus JD Vance. I hope it's not just the United States as a whole, because we're trying, guys, to get this thing back on tracks. But here it is.
In an individual sport, what an honor for her.
There is the Vice President, JD Vance, and his wife, Usha. Ooh, those are not... those are a lot of boos for him. Whistling, jeering, some applause.
There we go. And then here's from a different angle. Just keep waiting. It'll get to it. So you can hear it's cheers for the United States. And then once the Jumbotron, what was happening was it was just the U.S. people coming out, and it was like good and positive. And then the Jumbotron put JD Vance on screen, and everyone said boo, which is a proxy for Trump and what's going on. And then I'll show you Trump's reaction to what we're going to play here, which is some of the athletes speaking to the fact that they're representing the United States. And while they love their country, it is a difficult time to represent what's currently happening in the United States. Here's one, I think, a skier.
It brings up mixed emotions to represent the U.S. right now, I think. It's a little hard. There's obviously a lot going on that I'm not the biggest fan of, and I think a lot of people aren't. If it aligns with my moral values, I feel like I'm representing it. Just because I'm wearing the flag doesn't mean I represent everything that's going on in the U.S. So yeah, I just kind of want to do it for my friends and my family and the people that support me getting here.
So that's kind of like, great, right? Cool. What did he say? F the U.S.? No. In the longer clip that I had before, but that's the shorter clip, he speaks to, I'm representing the things that I think you heard a little bit, but I'm representing the things I agree with, the things that I love about America was kind of the sentiment, but not some of the other stuff. He doesn't even say specifically. But Trump's going to get upset at him, and already Trump supporters are. Carl Higbee said, then take that flag off your shoulder. Some of us wore that to defend your right to be an asshole. Doesn't that mean that he gets to wear it then? Like, you're saying you defended his right to be an asshole and an American, so then why would you want him to take the flag off? Strange. Very, very strange. Another skier.
I feel hard.
While you watch this, if you appreciate what we do, please do click the subscribe button. Very simple, very easy, but very impactful, that subscribe button.
Broken about what's happened in the United States when, I'm pretty sure you're referencing ICE and some of the protests and things like that. I think that as a country, we need to focus on respecting everybody's rights and making sure that we're treating our citizens as well as anybody with love and respect. And I hope that when people look at athletes compete in the Olympics, they realize that that's the America that we're trying to represent.
Beautiful. It is funny for an athlete to go, I just think the United States should value or prioritize love and respect more. And Trump's like, why are you crapping all over me? They didn't say you. Interesting, you assumed that was a shot at you. And then one other example, then I'll show you Trump's reaction.
It's definitely a tough time in our country right now, and I think I just continue to represent my values, which is compassion and respect and love for others, and also to represent my community at home and those that have given us the opportunities to be here. It's a very special experience.
So as far as criticisms of your government go, that is pretty darn soft. They could have gone a lot more aggressive at Trump. They didn't name him. They just said it's a difficult time right now in the United States, and I want to prioritize love, compassion, and respect. And just in case you're aware, similar to how we talked about in the last segment, if you find yourself like Trump screaming, "I'm the least racist person on the planet," you're probably not. Similarly, if you find yourself triggered when someone says they wish the country were more compassionate because you think it's an attack on you, I think you have your answer there. That's a you problem, not a them problem. But Trump was very upset. He said U.S. Olympic skier Hunter Hess, a real loser, says he doesn't represent his country in the current Winter Olympics. Didn't say that. If that's the case, he shouldn't have tried out for the team, and it's too bad he's on it. Very hard to root for someone like this. Make America great again. So, you saw the clips. It wasn't a disavowal of the United States. All of them spoke to what they feel like they're representing at home, their home, America, but not necessarily every single thing the American government's doing, which is a perfectly fine and deeply American thing to say. It is deeply American to say one can be proud of their country and critical of their government. That's America, baby. And then I saw this. Peter Hamby said, "Big boos for JD Vance in Milan," from a friend inside the stadium. Holy F, the whole stadium booed JD Vance and his wife. That was so wild. So take that for what you will. Obviously, I don't like that we're in a situation where countries abroad, instead of feeling a reverence for and appreciation for what the United States stands for, they feel bitter, but they have damn good reason to feel bitter right now. And it's funny. This is what cracks me up in a dark way, that supporters of Trump and Trump get so shocked and aghast by other people in other countries or people in this country being anti-Trump. They go, it's so disrespectful that crowds in a foreign country would boo during the United States' moment, or boo the U.S. vice president. Meaning, it's so disrespectful they would be mad at us. But that's only following us being so mad at them. Meaning, Trump declared war, not literally, on all of our allies. Almost literally on Denmark. Trump has alienated and said that they all took advantage of us and that they have to be punished. And then you're shocked that those countries are a little bit annoyed at us? Or Trump says people who don't support him can't have faith, he said at the recent prayer breakfast. He says they're the enemy from within, vermin living, radical left vermin in the country. But then you're shocked when some of the people in the country that you're talking about say, okay, well, I don't love you either. Very strange.